And listen here, Jim Jones Jim Jones was involved in a fight with two men at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport. He was leaving from New York. He was going to do a hosting in basically Miami, and he got in an altercation. Now we can't show the altercation because of YouTube purposes, but if I had to paint the picture, he was going down the escalator. A white man bumped him for some strange reason. Jim Jones grabbed him, threw him down the stairs. Some other dude tried to help him. He ended up trying to throw him over basically the escalator.
And then they crashed into some poor old man that looked like they broke his knee.
Then he started bleeding. And you see right here on the right hand side, you see his red.
Jim Jones probably popped him. You know, he wears jewelry, so that's almost like brass knuckles.
Pretty much, yeah.
I would assume so.
And if you go in the gym with Tim's on, you can never fight. Don't fight anybody that goes to the gym with Tim's on. They dangerous. Tim's and jeans.
Yeah, but I mean, no one. It's crazy because like no one ever wants to do nothing in the airport. Like that can mess up your whole life. Could you imagine if you got on the no-fly zone, and especially as a celebrity, you couldn't travel. You couldn't use the airport.
You got to catch a Greyhound bus everywhere.
I mean, shoot, what do you got to do if you got to go overseas? You just can't go no more.
Private jet.
Oh, that's true.
Call Rick Ross.
Why? So you can end up on Lost?
Let me hold that wing. Let me hold that wing. Stop playing. Nah, but I mean,
what's funny is like they do say sometimes that karma is real because you saw Rick Ross was dissing Drake and talking about private jets, and then those wasn't even a few days later. It was like the next day his jet went down.
Yep.
They said it's because he ate too much Wingstop.
BBL Drizzy shot it down.
But why do they call him BBL Drizzy? Didn't he get his the rumors are about his abs, not his ass, right?
Nobody cares about the truth when the joke is funnier than the truth.
That's true. That's how I get by.
So with the Jim Jones situation, nobody knows why the
Is this a video clip?
Yeah. Nobody knows why the altercation happened, but of course, Wack 100.
I know why.
Why?
Because people be in your personal space. People think that the vid is over. And so you don't need to stay 6 feet apart. And it's like, I be hating that. Like, if you ever in line at the grocery store and you're like, oh, you know, looking at the stuff on the side and you go to take a step back and then, like, someone's, like, all up on you. You're like, dang, I didn't realize you were that close. Yeah. You know, people do that on the escalator. Like, you know, most of the time people stand 2 to 3 steps away from the next person. But could you imagine if you were on the escalator and some dude's literally breathing on your neck and you're like, dog, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you being weird?
Yeah, that's when you gotta judo chop them. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But the question,
personal space.
But the question is, how do you feel about Wack 100 and his statements? Is what Jim Jones doing considered snitching? Because I mean, you are in the airport. There's cameras everywhere. There's cops everywhere. Just do your job. If you already know that, why are you asking me questions like what happened? Just play the cameras. You see the cameras. You see I got attacked. You see it's 2 men. So I mean, come on now.
I think, man, airport's different. Airport, the rules are different. If you get out of line, you could get on the no-fly list, which essentially ends your ability to travel and make money. And like, you don't want to get also on the government's list like that, because you do enough bad stuff at the airport, like they'll get on you.
What you mean government list? Jim Jones already said Jim Jones is a snitch. He worked for the federales.
You're a federale. But so I understand, like, man, if you're like, if the cops, like, you get in a fight at the airport and you're like, man, I was defending himself. I would just say, that's what all I would say is like, hey, check the footage. You can see how I was defending myself. Because that ain't really no snitching, man. You wasn't like running into a op or like something like that. That's just some weirdo stuff at the airport. That ain't no street business or nothing. And they have cameras everywhere.
True.
So you might as well, you know, be truthful since they already have the footage anyway, and make sure you don't end up on that no-fly list and basically end your career or end a big part of your money earning potential.
True, but we're gonna let y'all be the judge of that. We got the video right here. Jim Jones, is this snitching? Is it not snitching? Comment down below.
They both assaulted me.
Go sit down.
They both assaulted me.
Your ass down. I don't fucking care. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down now.
What the fuck did I just say? They both sit your ass down.
That's Jim Jones already sitting down, so you know they're not talking about him.
I'm
Yeah,
alright.
he was the only one
I'm
listening.
alright. Give me a second. I gotta get dressed for this party, man. I'll be right with y'all. Promise you. Promise you. I'm alright. And the show must go on. You heard? Tonight, Taboo, you know where I'm at. You dig? Fuck all that other shit. Pull up on me, you dig? I got it on, I hope you got it on. We gonna have a celebration, you heard? Life is life. Miami, Taboo. You know I still my summer's here. We on the way. Let's enjoy ourselves, you heard? Come in peace, you heard?
You heard? Did you hear?
He assaulted me. They both
You're
assaulted
watching Key Talk Media.
Go sit down.
me. They both assaulted me.
Your ass down. I don't fucking care. Sit your
He assaulted me.
He assaulted me. So if you see,
Sounds like when played you one-on-one on the basketball court.
horrible. So if you see, Kendrick Lamar might as well made a next song called "Telling Is Telling." Y'all gonna act like y'all don't hear that man Jim Jones basically snitching. So I mean, with this whole situation, a lot of people well, not a lot of people, me. I'm saying like the only reason why Wack 100 is doing this because he doesn't like Jim
He hates
Jones.
him.
He never liked. I mean, and also you already know 6ix9ine. I think is still under Wack 100 management, and in the whole 6ix9ine case, Jim Jones was in the 6ix9ine case, and 6ix9ine was been going around on interviews saying that Jim Jones is an informant. So I mean, they have a long history of not really messing with each other. So I mean, I see this is going. I see why this is going on and why Wack 100 is attacking him. And of course, you already know, No Jumper is posting this, and they finna be pushing this out loud. And then on top of that, when they do their next podcast, they're gonna be talking about this. But I want y'all to chime in on this with this situation. Do you feel honestly like Jim Jones is a snitch? What would you do in this situation? You basically going to a show finna get that coin on for your family, and some people in your personal space they didn't want to move. So you gotta put some stuff happen. Somebody end up with on their face. Cops gotta break it up. But I mean, it's crazy. But like my co-hosts always say, the craziest people in the world come from New York and Florida. And guess what? Jim Jones is from New York, and guess what? He in Florida. So of course, crazy stuff's gonna happen. But anything else you gotta say about this co-host?
It's a recipe for disaster, basically, is what you were saying.
Basically,
And that Florida's lame.
we never wanted education.
Special education. Let me bring us back on screen, because you know what time it is.